Hey fellow vault dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and today I have for you a brand new build, Lazy Auto Axer, and it is truly amazing. It works both full health and low health, so that's my first build that can be played as a bloodied lazy build. Usually it was almost impossible, but this one is possible. If you are into it, absolutely works. If you want to play it full health, it's an option too. It works in both variants for this particular one. Of course, Auto Axe is the main weapon, incredibly powerful. But let's go step by step as usually. What is in this build? So here is my special before application of legendary perks. It's important to notice I have 15 strength in here, and when we look at legendary perks, I have additional strength. So this additional strength that goes over 15 does not grant me any extra special points for my cards, but it does work for melee damage and for carry weight. So those both work with this legendary strength. That's why I have it in here. Although, if you are relatively new, you don't have yet all of those cards, let me tell you which ones you take last. Strength, of course. Legendary strength will be last. Taking one for the team, you don't need it early. Master Infiltrator, you don't really need it early, unless you want to play with just one rank of this card. You can cut down on special. What I would recommend to do, at least get 2 special cards upgraded if you can. If it's still too much, of course, you can cut down at will. So this build is using extra 15 special that is being used for perk cards, and 5 that is only being used for damage and carry weight purposes. You may notice some legendary perks that I would normally use are missing, and those are, in this case scenario, Electric Absorption, intentionally missing. I notice I don't need extra healing from this perk, or extra core recharge, as single fusion core lasts me for approximately 3 hours with this build, so I don't need it. As well, additional perk Hack and Slash only works with VATS, and Auto Axe is terrible with VATS, so we don't need that either. So we don't need that. Power Reboot is not necessary. You could play it. It's a nice card, but I don't like chance-based revive. So I'm not using it on lazy builds. Better not to die. What Rat's not needed, as that's a power armor build, so Rat Protection is already good. Now the perks, what and why. As well, I will give you some suggestions what to cut out if you are relatively new and you don't yet have all this extra special that I do. So, under strength, I have strong back, which is fully optional, it's not just extra carry weight. Then Traveling Pharmacy for all the chems that I then sell to vendors. Slugger, only rank 1, all the Slugger perk cards. It's enough. Incisor, that's the key for damage, so that's max out. Blocker for extra tankiness. You could skip Blocker if you do plan to play full health. For Bloodied, it's essential. Under Perception, those are basically all optional, so you could run with 1 Perception. This is for my convenience to help me gather bubbleheads, magazines, toss grenades when it's a quest for expedition or something else, and concentrated fire when I need to cripple something, so those all optional. Endurance, Life Giver, Solar Powered, Fireproof, and Radical. If you don't plan to play as a Bloodied, Radical will be recommended to swap and get Rad Healing, which is Sun-Kissed. Rank 1 will help you maintain full health at all times. If you go Bloodied, keep the Radical. Solar Powered, optional, so you could cut down Endurance by 3 points. Next, Charisma. I have 9, because I can, and that let me share rank 3 perk card. As you can see, I'm sharing Strong Back. Inspirational for extra experience, Strength in Numbers with high mutations, Travel Agent to cut down cost, Tenderizer for damage, Friendly Fire for occasional healing needs. So 9 Charisma can be easily cut down to 4 if you don't care about everything, or 5 if you want to keep Friendly Fire. So additional points can be saved in here. Next, Intelligence. Nerd Rage for extra damage as Bloodied. If you choose to play full health, you have those 3 points free. After that, Makeshift Warrior to make Auto Axe last. There is more perks that I could use to make Auto Axe last even longer, but already with Makeshift Warrior, I'm repairing my Auto Axe less than once a day, which is absolutely manageable even on lazy build. Science perks. As if you are not aware, Electrified Auto Axe benefits from Science perks to increase its damage, so all Science perks are in here. Not a huge bonus, total of 30%, but yeah, we have points, so again, all the Science perks, optional. You could play without them if you cannot afford 14 Intelligence. And then Agility. Action Boy, you can drop it. It's optional again. That was my last point that I had nothing to do. I had 1 point more on my special than I needed. Through Haika, to carry all the random food that you pick up. We are not really focusing on using the food, but for selling purposes and less carry weight management, it's awesome. Lazy build must have it. Enforcer for crippling. Adrenaline for extra damage. It's rank 5. Although rank 5 is not needed, you could go with rank 1 if you choose to do so. And if you cut all those perks that I listed as optional, you will be able to run this build without any legendary special. And lastly, luck, just 8 points. Ricochet for the synergy with Vampire, legendary effect. Class Freak to have less side effects from multiple mutations we have in here. It is possible to play it with all mutations, although not recommended as grounded hits your damage. And Star Genes to keep mutations as is. Now, if we are talking about the mutations, what am I running? I have optionals too. Adrenal Reaction, that's for damage. If you are Bloodied. If you are not, if you plan to only play full health, you don't need it. Although side effect is so minuscule that it doesn't really matter if you skip it. Bird Bones for extra agility, and especially not even for agility, for avoiding power landing. Oh, I'm not on the team. You can easily see if I'm on the team or not. +4, not on the team. And now it's +5, so I have a teammate that is mutated. So extra +5. There is penalty to strength. We need to live with that if we want to avoid annoying power landings in power armor. Carnivore, occasional use of food for the boss fights is an option. So Carnivore is in here. Doesn't really matter too much if you never use any food. And you don't need to with this build. You can notice at this moment, I have basically no food running outside of Company Tea, and I think I ate a birthday cake. Those do not affect damage. Company Tea is really good for AP regen though, so very handy. There is more food that is easily available and very handy, but optional. You don't need any single food running. Eagle Eyes. It's not really needed. I have it here. I decided that why not keep it, as I already had it. I was considering redoing all the mutations, but I choose not to. -1 strength doesn't really hurt the build. Extra perception is fine. Not really helpful either. So Eagle Eyes is not needed. Egghead helps with experience gain, but again, not needed. So those two you could skip. Healing Factor is intentional. And we have it at this build for the purpose of chem effects reduction. So this particular one, mainly for the side effect. But the positive one is fine too. But it's mainly for the side effect, as it helps with Radaway diluted usage. It makes it weaker, as well as Radaway diluted side effect, I will show you, is weaker as well. So it's double benefit. We want it weaker, so a little bit less rats healing makes the rats management easier, and disease resist penalty is only 43% and not 50. If I could somehow get a full side effect of this single mutation, I would, but I either use Class Freak or not at all, and other mutations have important side effects, so Healing Factor mainly for the side effect. Fast travel is no longer a problem, the bug was fixed. Then Herd Mentality, basically free special as soon as you join a team, even if you are the only one. Marsupial for jumping higher, Scaly Skin for extra resistance and tankiness, Speed Demon to move faster, Twisted Muscles to do more damage with melee. Now the gear is very simple. Mainly you need Auto Axe, and you need it to be Vampire. Everything else you have time for. The best second star is power attack damage. It's amazing because every attack with auto axe is power attack. That's the classification. And lastly, for the last star, you could go with weightless, break slower, or the best option, plus strength. Unfortunately, I was not lucky, so at this moment I have just critical recharge. That does nothing for me, so it's basically 2-star auto axe, already super powerful, amazing weapon. Next, occasionally you want some kind of a shotgun, doesn't matter which one, as you will be using it for crippling flying creatures like Scourge Beast to help you out. So any shotgun, doesn't matter which one. I have Peppa Shaker, I like it, it's cool. And lastly, something with fire damage. And something that uses fusion cores. Can be 2 separate weapons or 2 in 1. Like I have 2 in 1. So this is a weapon that is using fusion cores and modified to do fire damage. Therefore, I can use that with friendly fire to heal friendlies. And at the end of expedition or daily up, to get 4 free fusion cores. That will basically cover me for a week of gameplay. So 1 daily up a week covers my fusion core needs. Thanks to ultrasight Gatling laser. Any Gatling laser will do, regular one too. It's not used to do damage, to be clear. It's not used on this build to do damage. Then for rat management, we have Toxic Goo, and I accidentally unfavored Radaway. It should be here. So Radaway diluted. If I use both, I just remove slight little bit of rats. Now I'm just both Nerd Rage, so I manage it by popping 1 bottle of Toxic Goo. Didn't work? Okay, 1 more. And now I'm in Nerd Rage. It doesn't need to be exactly. As long as I have around 60 hit points, I will not die on everyday case scenario. That's why it's so good build. You can play it as Bloodied, or you can play it as full health, or you can mix and match. You can play sometimes low health as Bloodied, sometimes full health. If you are facing like daily of decryption, or you are planning to fight imposter and you need to be super tanky, you can just heal all the rats and go full health. It's easy to do with this build. Changing low, full, super easy. Underneath my armor, that is a power armor, of course I'm wearing full set of secret service. So just exiting the power armor gives me huge boost to my special if I need to trade. About power armor itself, it's a union power armor, and important about this set, all pieces are weapon weight reduced. Other legendary effects are random, as I was only rolling for weapon weight reduced. When legendary crafting will be a thing, I will upgrade it greatly to be way better than that. I will be able to add extra strength, maybe full set of overeaters as a prefix, or assassins, depend what I would like. So there are options. The important mod for arms, optimized bracers. This one reduces the AP cost of attacks with automatic melee weapon like auto axe. So both arms stack, you need to modify both arms. About legs, calibrated shocks for extra carry weight. The power armor, of course, it's a full set of union, so poison resist and extra carry weight on top of that. And lastly, the chest piece is a jetpack. So we want to be able to fly sometimes for ease of use. The jetpack itself is a Blackbird Elite paint, and power armor I'm using Cryptid Hunter paint. That's from previous season. It's a nice combo. You will see me when I will be fighting, and I'll be talking more about combat options now and how it performs. Like no food, basically no food needed. I have like a bunch of lunch boxes that someone was opening, not even me, and company tea will expire now. So let's show you how well it performs on actual tough enemies. Let's skip super mutants. So first we are going for fissure side action, and hopefully there will be a Scourge Beast, and there is no Scourge Beast, another fissure side. And here we have a Scourge Beast, plus some Scourged. Look how easily they die. You basically touch them, they die. The attack rate of auto axe is absolutely insane. It's like 20 something attacks per second. Now we are swapping for my Peppa Shaker, so I can make sure that this Scourge Beast will be nicely landed for me. That's why Enforcer is on this build, which is hip fire towards the wing, And at this point, she should be crippled. You know she's crippled because she's landing. Now, look, it's a legendary one. Look at the damage. No food, nothing. Oh, if you get staggered, go for a block and then attack. That's how you avoid this annoying bug with auto-axe when you get staggered and you spin and it makes the sound but doesn't actually do damage. So if you get staggered, press the block button. In first person you can see it, block button, and then attack. Of course, we always play in the third person view. We can move the camera away a little bit. The reason for that is, in this view I can jump and continuously attack. If I switch to first person and if I attack and then jump, you see what's happening. The auto-axe is spinning, respinning multiple times. That's why you need to use this particular view. The other view is not an option. Which is unfortunate, but that's the truth. Other view is not an option. So absolutely annihilate everything. Now, tougher enemies. The toughest enemy in the game is the Milo Queen from the regular enemies, of course, not counting endgame bosses. But you can absolutely deal with endgame bosses using this build. Maybe Freezer will be handy if you want to be a leading DPS, to hold one piece of food that I have in my inventory if it didn't spoil. Something like that, 200% bonus to melee damage. But keep it in the freezer, as you will only need it for endgame bosses and only if you want to be a leading DPS dealer on your team. If others can carry you, you don't even need to use it. And why is... Okay, one thing you cannot do with this build, you cannot attack underwater, so if enemies running underwater, we have no weapon to fight them. They need to get out. Get out of the water. Come on. Come on, can I reach you now? Can I just slightly touch you? Oh, I can now. Look at that. Oh, block and attack. So I was staggered. Block and attack every stagger, and that's the beauty of the damage. Takes several seconds to kill such a tanky enemy without even paying attention to aim for a weak spot, which is legs. If I would aim for legs, it would be faster than that, but I was aiming for the center of the mass. The smell is not the best for aiming for weak spots. And for most enemies you don't need to. So look how powerful it is, annihilating everything without the need to use food. Being bloodied without any problem. Like, I do not struggle at all to survive. The death is not happening, super tanky. And now if I want to manage my rats, if I want to reduce a little bit my radiation, at this moment it's not even much, but easy way, I have this rat away diluted, and simultaneously I pop a toxic goo to counter it. If I heal too much, I pop one more toxic goo, and now I'm slightly healed, almost exactly in the nerd rage. So that's how its combo worked. That's why I wanted Radaway Diluted to be weaker, so I don't need to use as much toxic goo. So one Radaway Diluted, 2 toxic goo, and that's just a little bit of healing of the rats. The Brahmin milk would be a better option, obviously, but then you need to carry good with salt in your build, additional perk card. If you want to do it, you absolutely can. It's an option to use Brahmin milk. Or you can just play full health. If you want to see the damage now, you probably wonder, but I will lose so much damage if I would be full health. No, you will not really lose much damage. Let me heal and attack another tough enemy. Okay, we are healing all the way. Another Murloc Queen is living in there. So if the need arises, you can go full health and you can go without any food still. I'm still not using any food. Look how slowly my AP is draining. Thanks to those optimized mods for arms, my health is almost not being drained. So now the full health approach, and that's a legendary but level 60. Block because I was staggered, and attack again. Easy. We didn't get level 100, but I think legendary effect compensate nicely. It can possibly be slightly weaker still than level 100. I'm not sure about exact stat. 100 versus 60. So staggered block, attack. That ensures that it will work. And all those Milex annihilated. Full health approach. Still amazing damage. In case you plan to use food, the damage gap is almost not visible, as food makes the damage gap between Bloodied and full health almost non-existent. If I pop it now, I will boost my damage greatly. Look at the damage. 70-45. Pop one food, and it changes to 111-84. And adrenaline expire 173 now. So crazy high damage, either Bloodied or full health. You may say it wasn't a 200% boost. Yes, it wasn't. Because it's additive boost, and your strength alone is already giving you huge boost to your melee damage. So additional boosts are not as visible. So food is not necessary, but handy. And now if I will go Bloodied, if you are wondering how much difference it is. So 173 full health with food. If I go for Bloodied approach, so I have a bunch of toxic goo, I just apply it until the Nade Rage triggers, so full damage 120-88. So you can clearly see the damage improvement with Mutations and the Nade Rage in reality is 20% more damage. It is not game-breaking difference. You can absolutely annihilate everything full health. Slightly more difference without food. Without the food, visible difference is about 40% more damage as Bloodied versus full health. So if you don't plan to ever use food, Bloodied is more advantage. If you plan to use food for boss fights, doesn't really matter too much. And that being said, this is everything for this particular video. Let me know what you think about my latest lazy version of the melee build. I hope you will enjoy it. I have lots of fun with it. And that being said, thank you a lot for watching, and see you all in the next one.